Call to order the meeting of Pasadena Independent School District Board of Trustees in regular session on Tuesday, September 24th, 2019, in the Board of Administration Building, 1515 Cherrybrook, Texas, at 5:30 p.m. Board members present are Mr. Kenny Fernandez, Ms. Vicki Morgan, Mr. Fred Roberts, Ms. Nelda Sullivan, Ms. Marcel Cahano, and myself, Marshall Kendrick. Mr. Bailey will be a few minutes late. Let the record indicate that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting is duly called, and that notice of this meeting was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Invocation will be given by Mr. Roberts, and the pledge is by Mrs. Quijano.
Okay, if you would bow your head, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for a wonderful day. Thank you for the school district and the wonderful people that work here. I know it's your guidance that helps us through all the trying times and the interesting issues that come up, and you've got the right people and the right job. Now, thank you for my fellow board members. They're the best friends that could be. And we thank all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge to the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the Texas flag.
I, the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
We will have a policy update presentation. Ms. Jody.
Good evening. I know we shared last time that we'd be doing a little bit of policy catch-up in anticipation for Update 114 coming out in October to catch us up with the last legislative session. So tonight you're looking at Update 113. That's a TASB issued a recommended update. Your local policies were printed for you. The policy edits. Oh, did I turn something off? Did I do it? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So what's before you tonight is just Update 113. It focused again on some administrative changes and shoring up some language, and those were TASB's recommendations from different administrative decisions and commissioner rules that came out late 2018 and early 2019. And then you also have local district update 2019.02 that addresses EIE. That's the follow-up to the EIA local policy, and that was prompted by the Curriculum and Instruction Department, and again it's aligning policy language with language that's already in our student code of conduct and how we do grading practices. We're aligning policy language there. The other one was FFAC local. That one was just addressing language about administration of medication on campuses and by campus personnel, and making sure that our practices and procedures there are in line with the Nurse Practice Act. Were there any questions on either of those?
Anybody any questions about any policies? Thank you, Jody.
Okay, thanks.
We'll adjourn to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074 for the purpose of considering the employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer, employee, or to complaints or charges against a public officer or employee concerning matters related to the superintendent's recommendation to hire administration personnel, or concerning matters related to the superintendent's recommendation related to renewals, non-renewals, and termination of contract for professional personnel. 55.071 to consult with district attorneys concerning matters on which the attorney's duty to district under the Code of Professional Responsibility clearly conflicts with Texas Open Meeting Act. To seek the advice of attorney about pending or contemplated litigation or settlement offer, or consider legal advice regarding items specifically listed on the agenda. 551.072 for the purpose of discussing purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. We will reconvene at 7 o'clock p.m. We're going to reconvene in open session. Thank you for being here, and we have special recognition tonight. Dr. Powell?
All right, board members, tonight we have the honor of recognizing PISD's own Board of Trustees. The board was selected, if you didn't know this, as the Region 4 Outstanding School Board of the Year and the top 5 school board in the state of Texas. My script says I am proud and honored, but I'll just say I'm blessed, most definitely, to work with such an amazing group of leaders who always put the needs of our students, every student first, and every staff member first in making decisions about this school district. So again, join me in congratulating our Pasadena ISD Honor Board for 2019. I have a friend and colleague here, Region 4's Executive Director, Dr. Pam Wells. If she'll come up, she's going to say a few words and make a presentation.
Thank you so much, and this is, the third or fourth time I've had the opportunity to come and honor for state awards someone in Pasadena ISD, and as I've shared before, I'm coming home because I'm a graduate of Sam Rayburn High School a long time ago. I'm not going to tell you what my year was, but you can probably tell by the color of my hair. I am so pleased, both Superintendent Powell and also to President Kendrick, members of the board, and certainly the staff members and guests to have the opportunity to honor you tonight. As Executive Director at Region 4 Education Service Center, it is certainly our pleasure to sponsor in the Region 4 area this competition that is actually run by the Texas Association of School Administrators. And as Dr. Powell said, the Pasadena ISD Board is one of the top 5 boards in the state, but I want to share with you how significant that is. There are 1,500 or more, a little bit over 1,500 school districts in the state of Texas. And in Region 4, there are actually 48 school districts, and there were many that were nominated. So that is quite a significant honor to be one of the 5 top boards in the entire state of Texas. And certainly as a board, you all have great dedication to this community and to this school district. You have nearly 140 years of combined service as members of the board. That's quite significant and actually a bit unusual for a school board, so you should be proud of that. We really want to recognize you and share that you have to meet 10 criteria. I'm not going to read off all the criteria, but you have to meet 10 criteria to even be identified as the Region 4 Board of the Year. And then you have to demonstrate that you've gone above and beyond even that to be a finalist. Now, I'd like to identify, especially for the guests that are here, just a few of the things that the committee felt were significant. In the past 10 years, the graduation rate in Pasadena ISD has increased from 67% to nearly 91%. That is hugely significant. I see behind me that there are going to be some celebrations to this evening about distinctions, but when this application was made, in addition, there were 60 campuses that had earned a mathematics distinction designation, 58 campuses that had earned a science distinction designation, and 35 other campuses that had received at least one. And of course, this was from the year before. And in addition, this is something that's so significant for your students, and that is that since 2011, there have been 132 students who have graduated from Pasadena ISD, graduating from high school with an associate's degree already from the early college high schools. There's so many other things that I could share, but I want to share that because the board supports these innovative programs that empower students to become accomplished and self-directed learners, that is the reason why you were selected as the Region 4 Board of the Year and also as an honor board. I would also like to share that the other point that the committee mentioned is that through the use of your Connect personalized learning, your students increase significantly their scores on the mathematics star. So there are many other things that they reference, but these are just a few of the examples of why the Pasadena ISD Board was selected and deserves to be identified not only as the Region 4 Board of the Year, but also as a State of Texas Honor Board. Congratulations to you. And if it's all right, Dr. Powell and members of the board, I'd like to give you a plaque, and I think the staff would like to take a picture of you, if that's all right.
Deanne, weren't we the #1 largest school district?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That is absolutely.
There was no one close to our size.
That's absolutely true.
Small's easy.
They did
Step up right here. Right here. You want us all up? Up here? Where do you want me to be? Right in the middle. In the middle? I get to be in the middle? Yes. Okay. If we can get one more person on this side.
I'll count for that.
Smile big, let your teeth show. Dr. Powell, I'll put it right up here in the center.
Wonderful.
with you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
They did an outstanding job representing us in Dallas this last weekend, and we are very, very proud to, and very honored to serve with this board.
Let me make a
President.
comment, Chair,
Sure.
please. When we were given this honor, which is quite humbling, but the fact of the matter is that this honor is your honor, because all we are is a reflection of what you do. And this reward is for you, because you do the work. We trust you and you trust us, and that's why we're where we are. Thank you.
Mr. President, that's what I was going to say. You know, this, when it was announced, the top board of the year, I shed a few tears, but it wasn't because we didn't make the top board. It was because we didn't want to disappoint our community and our students and our staff, because without you, we would not have been in the place that we were. You're wonderful. I think every one of us would do anything there is for this school district, and we're going to just keep on keeping on.
Absolutely.
Did I mention that we were 2 or 3 times larger than the school district that was there?
You had a few comments that weekend. Yes, yes, sir, you did.
You know, I'm not familiar with the other districts that were part of the top 5, but I know there must be some wonderful things going on in Harlingen, Texas for kids. I'd put you all up against anybody in the state as far as getting the job done, educating every kid that walks through the door of our schools every day. So thank you. And I echo what Marshall said. This was about y'all, not about us.
That's all right. You made it possible for us to receive this honor, and we appreciate each and every one of you more than you know.
I'm not a very good loser. Look at the reports. Compare our district with anybody.
All right, well, we have another special recognition, so thank you all so much, and thank you, Region 4, for wonderful recognition. So we want to recognize another special individual tonight, Dr. John Kirkwood. If he'll come forward, and I'll just brag on you a little bit, so you'll have to stand there for just a minute. John's roots run really deep here in Pasadena ISD, and just like Dr. Wells, he was a Pasadena ISD graduate at Sam Rayburn High School. And just as Rayburn's saying goes, once a Texan, always a Texan. It certainly holds true for John, as he never really left his Texan roots. In fact, he continued to spend the past 23 years on the sidelines at Veterans Memorial Stadium, serving our students as the team doctor, as well as providing district-wide physicals to PISD student athletes. How many would you say you've done by now? A million? A whole lot. Dr. Kirkwood is part of the inaugural class of Sam Rayburn High School's Hall of Honor, not the school, okay, just to clarify, Hall of Honor inductees, which you share as well. And in addition, the Kirkwoods have served as a legacy of support for our athletic teams across the district. He joins his two older brothers, who are also longtime supporters of the district. His son will soon be joining the family tradition of roaming the sidelines. That's exciting, at PISD football games as well. So Dr. Kirkwood, please accept this certificate as a token of our appreciation, and we thank you for your longtime dedication to this district and to our students. So join me in recognizing him and giving him a long round of applause. Okay, thank you so much. And we're now getting to our distinctions. Like Dr. Wells said, we had 119 distinctions this year to be proud of. Distinction designations are awarded for exceptional achievement in up to 7 areas and are based on performance relative to a group of campuses across the state that are similar in size, grade levels, and student demographics. Campuses can earn academic achievement awards in the 4 core areas in the grade levels they serve. And achievement awards are based on a combination of accelerated student growth for math and reading, star performance at master's level and attendance rate. High schools are also evaluated on AP, SAT, and ACT participation and performance, and advanced indoor course completion. So in addition, campuses can earn awards for academic growth on STAR, closing the gaps among student groups, and outstanding performance on post-secondary readiness. So we're going to name the campuses, and as we name you, if you'll come forward, our ASCDs are going to present you with your banner to show proudly at your campus. And the first school, Joe's going to receive it, because if you don't know, Renika Lee and her team are down at U of H downtown representing Pasadena ISD with NBC News today. So Bondi Intermediate, 5 of 7 distinctions.
And the second is going to be Mr. Daniel Hoppy.
Oh, and Dan gets the awards.
Stay on the stage. Stay on the stage.
All right, thank you. Dan is our Executive Director for Intermediate CNI, so he plays a big part in this.
Keep standing, huh?
Smile, Dan. All right. Next is South Houston Intermediate with 5 of 7. South Houston Intermediate. Both intermediate schools with long-standing traditions of excellence. Next, we have Pasadena High School with 5 of 7, and Laura's just kind of go between both schools.
Congratulations, Steve.
And then Vanessa Reyes is going to do flip-flops out here, because Sam Rayburn High School, 5 of 7. Way to go. Proud of y'all. Way to go. Love those algebra scores.
Doing good?
Okay, secondary folks, you're going to have to scoot down for the elementaries coming up. Next, we have Bailey Elementary, 4 of 5. Way to go. Bailey Elementary.
Hey, Joe. Joe. Congratulations. What are you doing letting Raven stand beside you? What are you doing letting Raven stand beside you?
Jensen Elementary, 4 of 5. Come on up, Jensen Elementary. As always, congratulations. Meadow Elementary, 4 of 5. Here we go, great job. Good to see y'all. Turner Elementary, 4 of 5. Proud of y'all. Lomax Middle School, 5 of 6. Good to see you. Congratulations. Roberts Middle School, 5 of 6. Good to see you. Congratulations. Well deserved. Congratulations, Jory. Congratulations, Jory. Atkinson Elementary, 5 of 5. Let's hear it for Atkinson.
He's always looking out, man.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Pomeroy Elementary, 5 of 5. Let's hear it for Pomeroy.
Oh, yeah, I understand. Hey, George, we want another picture. Yeah, just back.
That's the way to make it happen. Congratulations.
Miller Intermediate, 7 of 7.
They were still shaking hands. Congratulations.
And then in their first year of accountability, the Dr. Kirk Lewis Career and Technical High School, 7 of 7.
Awesome. Take care. Good job.
Congratulations.
So I challenge all of these amazing school leaders and
So much for you.
people that are doing the hard work in the trenches every day to keep it up and bring 5 of your friends with you next year. So encourage your peers to be here as well. We just thank you, and we're so appreciative of what you do day in and day out for our children. All right, Rhonda. So that is it for our special recognition tonight. Good news.
We have no one speaking during the regular agenda, but we do have a speaker coming up after the meeting tonight, since you're not on the agenda.
Well, I wanted to be assigned on there, they said they moved it over to the end of the meeting.
That's right.
But before, it was before the meeting.
Not now. The law has changed.
The policy.
The policy has changed,
And it's on the book as well.
so you can speak after the meeting.
I think the audience would love to hear what I have to say.
That may be if they're here, then they'll hear you, Mr. Alvarez.
That's my concern, that they won't be here. That's all I speak.
Well,
Let's do personnel first.
we're going to do
Just
person.
a few words to the audience.
I understand, but it's not on the agenda, so we will, not agenda item, so we'll talk
I
about it.
think all the conduct of any person who's over children is
Yeah,
a concern to everyone here.
I'm sorry?
The concern to children is a major concern to everyone here.
You will be heard, sir, I assure you, you will be heard.
Right, to a smaller audience, which I'm hoping for. I want to address
We're
it
not hoping for anything because you're allowed to speak like anybody else, but you'll be speaking at the end of the meeting.
at the end, right?
That's right.
So we have personnel.
Yes, sir, let me find it where I am. No, we have consent agenda.
I apologize. I apologize.
We go with the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Personnel section, consideration possible approval of administrative personnel.
Mr. President, I move that we approve addendum A to B.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Calhoun and second by
Mr. Roberts.
Mr. Roberts. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes.
I would like to introduce the first person on our list. I have Mrs. Celia Hernandez. Welcome. She is our new position for counselor at Sam Rayburn High School. You have a big fan club there. Of course, you are already at Sam Rayburn High School, so congratulations. Do you have any family with you tonight?
I have my parents and my little sister and all of my husband's family.
Would you like to introduce them individually?
My mom, my dad, and my little sister.
So thank you for coming this evening, and we know you'll do an amazing job. And our second person is Melissa Rippey. She is the new Director of Media and Library Services. It's almost a competition of fan clubs this evening. And do you have any family with you tonight?
I have a whole lot of my library work family here.
That's great.
A whole lot of work family.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And that is all this evening.
Thank you very much. And now, since we've had that part of the program, if anybody wants to leave and not be here for the business meeting, they're certainly welcome to do so, and thank you for coming. We will get on with item 3 of the agenda, consideration of possible approval of no changes to the medical benefits and premiums for 2020.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fernandez, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions?
Board members, I just think our employees are very appreciative of this, in addition to the raises that you were able to give this year. This will be a great assistance to our employees as well.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 3, consideration and possible approval of CSP number 20P-003 LP Pharmacy Benefit Management Services to Caremark PCS Health LLC/CVS Pharmacy Inc. under self-funded medical plan.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Fernandez, whatever your name is. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Considerable amount of savings. Thank you, ladies, for doing this and for such great negotiations. Okay. Certified personnel, okay. Educational support personnel, none. Educational section, consideration of possible approval of the lease agreement with NRG Stadium for the 2020 Pasadena Independent School District high school graduations.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of 2019-2020 high school graduation dates, times, and locations.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of revised ADA snapshot time for students in afternoon preschool program for children with disabilities, PPCD classes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of revised ADA snapshot time for students attending Language Labs program at L.F. Smith Elementary and Union Elementary.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any discussion? Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Summer school report presentation.
Yes, Becky Benner is here, our executive director, and she has a short presentation about our last summer school program.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Powell. Thank you for the strong commitment to summer school services in our district. 9,741 students participated in summer programs this year, many of whom would not have promoted to the next grade or course without their opportunity to do so.
Fantastic.
Elementary programs included remediation for 3,716 students to prevent their retention. The bilingual pre-K program served 442 preschoolers who received support for English language development. 1,716 Bubble students, those who were on the Success Fence, attended science camp to extend their English and math literacy skills through science activities. 275 more students attended GT camp. Elementary extended year activities were supervised by Dr. Scott Harrell, and Amanda Kahn directed elementary GT camps. At middle school programs, these programs included 5th grade SSI and remediation for 1,090 students to prevent their retention. 80 other 5th through 8th grade students attended GT camp. Middle school extended year services were supervised by Dr. Marsha Jones, and Amanda Kahn also directed the GT camp for middle and intermediate students. Intermediate programs included remediation for 880 students to prevent their retention. Of these, 837 promoted to the next grade. Intermediate extended year activities were supervised by Dr. Dan, I'll try to promote you. Mr. Dan Hoppy. At the high school level, programs included initial credit courses, both traditional and virtual, to help students stay on their graduation paths while participating in extracurricular and CTE programs of study. Students earned 3,588 half credits of initial instruction, 697 of which were earned through virtual school. 1,372 half credits were recovered by students who failed courses during the regular school year, and as a result, 95 seniors earned the credits they needed to receive their diplomas in August. 543 students participated in college entry and placement test preparation courses, the majority of whom were early college high school students preparing for the TSI assessment, which is necessary before taking college coursework. I supervise the high school extended year activities and want to sincerely thank the board for approving the extra contract days that allowed for 2 permanent program managers. These folks made management of the high school summer programs much more efficient and provided badly needed consistency from year to year.
The CTE programs, career and technology education camps were offered to students who completed grades 5 through 8. The purpose is to expose them to various career pathways that are offered in Pasadena ISD. This year, we ran 2 career camps, 2 robotics camps, and 1 rocketry camp. Students paid $65 for a 4-day camp, and it was 8 to 2:30 each day. The expenses not covered by the registration fee were paid by CTE budgeted funds. Ms. Tanya Hager and her team supervised the CTE camps. And extended year services, ESYS, are for special ed services that are provided to students who need instruction beyond the normal school year. The ESYS is provided in accordance with the IEP at no charge to parents or children. Many of our students who attended ESYS are in our specialized self-contained programs during the school year. This summer, we served 288 students with special needs. Ms. Debbie Barrett and Dr. Bobby McCain supervised ESYS programs. And that concludes the presentation.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Summer school really makes a difference.
It does.
And the ratio of students to teacher, I thought was outstanding. It makes it so much easier when you have a staff and only 13 students, something like that. That's great.
And we are still waiting for the rules from TA and the commissioner on the summer extended program. And if that's up to 30 days or that's 30 days, so we'll be looking at funding related to summer school and getting back with you about that for this coming summer.
Thank you. Move on. Consideration and possible approval of year 4 of our HISD School Health and Related Services, SHARS, expenditures for the 2019-2020 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Discussion, questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of the 2019-2020 Texas Governor's Office Criminal Justice Division Truancy Prevention and Intervention Grant Award 2019-2020 interlocal agreement between HCDE and Pasadena ISD for the 21st Century Community Learning Center Grant at South Houston Intermediate, and 2019-2020 interlocal agreement between HCDE and PISD for the Case Partnership Project Grant at Frazier.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any questions or comments?
As usual, it's, these grants help us get to where we're going. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. One of the things we showed that was given to us when we had the book prepared for the board, y'all done about $21 million in the last several years of grants that have allowed teachers to do things in schools that we would never been able to do. Thank you so much. What a great job y'all do. Consideration and possible approval of the Sam Rayburn High School Texas Band to travel to Lake Charles, Louisiana on October 26, 2019 to perform and compete in the 2019 McNeese State University Marching Contest.
Second.
Mr. Fernandez, second by Mrs. Morgan. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
We
no.
didn't
Motion-
vote on the previous.
Well, let's vote on the one
Yeah.
before then. Okay, this is the one that had the governor's, all the grants, okay? Sorry about that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you, Vicki.
Excited.
Appreciate it. Got all that money, yeah. Okay, now let's vote on the Rayburn High School, okay? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration possible approval of South Houston High School Mighty Trojan Band to travel to Lake Charles, Louisiana to perform and compete in the 2019 McNeese State University Marching Festival.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of Pasadena Memorial High School Band to travel to and perform at the McNeese State University Marching Contest on October 26, 2019.
So, second.
Motion by Mr. Fernandez, second by Mrs. Morgan. Comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval for J. Frank Dobie High School debate team members to travel out of state to the Florida Blue Key for Forensic, is that right? Forensic Tournament at Gainesville, Florida, November 1 through 3, 2019. George Mason University Patriot Games Classic in Fairfax, Virginia, December 5 through 9, 2019. The 2020 Barclay Forum in Atlanta, Georgia at Emory University, January 24 through 27, 2020. And to the National Berkeley Forensic League competition in Berkeley, California, February the 14th through 18th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Since we're just in the first month of school, we have no student achievements yet, but they will be coming. Policy section. Consideration possible approval of TASB localized policy update 113 affecting local policies designated in the attached instruction sheet.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the adoption of the TASB localized policy update 113.
Second.
One by Ms. Morgan, second by Ms. Keano. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible adoption of local district update 2019.2019-2019.02 affecting EIE local and FFAC local.
I move that we approve the adoption of local district update 2019.02 affecting EIE local and FFAC local.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of 2019 appraisal roll.
Move that we approve the appraisal roll.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of board resolution regarding declaration of emergency, employee compensation, and purchases due to inclement weather on September 18, 2019.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions?
I'm just grateful that we didn't have any damage to our campuses or kids or families.
We missed a bullet, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Operations section. Consideration possible approval of an annual real property consulting agreement with the Brown Company.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of annual professional services consulting agreement with the Penhall Company.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of annual professional services consulting agreement with Runoff Management Group, Inc.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of annual professional services consulting agreement with West Belt Surveying, Inc.
So move.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of annual architectural service agreement with Swart Architects.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of annual professional services consulting agreement with Laughlin Environmental Services, Inc.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. One comment about these above motions. These are people we've been doing with for years and years. They've been a great service to our district, so that's why they're getting a new contract. Consideration and possible approval of blanket electrical service easements for the new Red Bluff Elementary School
So
replacement
moved.
project.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of HVAC testing and air balancing, TAB, service agreement for the South Houston High School Science Lab renovation project.
So move.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Construction update. Any comments? Okay. We will now go to public comments. Mr. Alvarez. Mr. Alvarez, you have 3 minutes. And one of the, if you have a rule around here, we don't name names. So if you'll please give your presentation.
Well, I'm a concerned parent, and as a concerned parent, like anyone would, if your child comes to you with an issue, you look to help your child resolve the matter, let them know that they're going to school where they should be comfortable speaking to the teacher. So my child encountered a teacher who lost control of her temperament in front of second graders. That matter has been resolved. My daughter's no longer with that teacher, so I don't like the outcome that they just moved my daughter to another teacher, leaving that possibility of it happening again to another child still there, still in place. So when I spoke to the principal at Genoa Elementary, I asked them to help me understand, why does this instructor still stay in place? And she advised me that she was going to go ahead and give them a second shot, and we all make mistakes. So I was on board with that until I did a little further investigation. And this is not the first time that instructor has done so. So I called the principal back and let them know, this is not acceptable. If it happens once, okay, but this is a pattern from this instructor, and I wish to have my child removed from there. And she said, well, you can relocate your child to another school. So my child did not commit any infraction, who's in second grade. An instructor who's an adult did, and I have to be the one to make modifications other than the instructor. So I told the principal that's unacceptable. So they just kept my child with a different instructor and said, no, I'm going to be with that instructor, but that instructor's still going to be there. To me, that resolved that issue for me. Unfortunately, for other parents who have to have their children stay in place with that instructor, have to wonder, when is it going to happen again? So that's one thing. So when I went there in the morning to explain to the principal how come I feel that's unacceptable, she had me wait in the hallway for an hour in the morning while she does her thing, instead of saying, hey, this is a concerned parent, let's discuss this now. So I waited a whole hour, but just trying to show that I'm calm. I just want to make sure we address the matter. When she finally calls me to the conference room, we go to the conference room, and she had already premeditated what she was doing. So while I'm asking these questions about why are we experiencing this, why we're experiencing this, she already called the authorities to remove me. Why I'm being cordial, why I'm being calm, that's what she did. And when she found out that the officer got there and I didn't sway, my knees didn't buckle, because only criminals buckles when they're around authorities, not concerned parents. Then she went on to try to add more to it, and she said that I was recording the kids. I was video recording the kids. Now, that's all the way she said, but this day and age, you know what she meant by that. She was not a great officer.
Your time is up, sir.
So I'm just saying, this principal at Genoa Elementary, which is Ms. Bennett, is very disgusting, and she should not even be there with our children. I experienced that. That is disgusting, and I don't wish that upon any parent who's concerned. If you're a concerned parent, you should be treated with respect. And that's just what I have to say tonight for all of y'all, and I hope y'all understand what I went through, and I hope none of y'all go through it. Thank y'all for your time.
And board members, I can assure you, Ms. Alita Harrell and myself have both talked to Mr. Alvarez and are continuing to look into the matter as far as monitoring and continuing to do what we need to do personnel-wise. So I assure you that we do have this being monitored continuously.
Thank you. There's no other business before this
We need to set the date.
meeting, yes or no? Next board meeting suggested date is October 22nd.
I move that we approve October 22nd for our next regular meeting.
Second?
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan, that we have next meeting October 22nd. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. This meeting is adjourned.